Everything you see will soon change. The only constant is your response. Change is not something that happens to you. It's something that has always been happening long before you were born and will continue long after you're gone. Marcus Aurelius knew this better than most. As emperor of Rome, he ruled during wars, plagues, and law. And yet, in the quiet of his tent, he wrote not about victory or power, but about acceptance. He wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change." To Marcus, change wasn't chaos. It was nature's rhythm. It was the silent law that governed both stars and souls. Everything that exists, he reminded himself, is in a state of becoming and then of vanishing. The leaf grows, turns green, withers, falls, and feeds the ground for another leaf. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is truly lost. But when life changes suddenly, when a person leaves, when plans fail, when dreams collapse, it feels like something inside you dies. And maybe it does. But Marcus believed that this small death too is natural, that suffering comes not from the change itself, but from our resistance to it. The Stoics called this the second pain, the unnecessary pain created by our attachment to what was. If we could look at change as Marcus did, we might see it as a teacher rather than an enemy. Change strips away illusions. It reveals what was temporary and what is real. It doesn't ask for your permission. It only asks for your cooperation. The question is not, how can I stop this? The question is, how can I move with it? Marcus Aurelius didn't see change as something to control, but as something to align with. He said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart." This is not passive surrender, it's active harmony. To say yes to life as it unfolds, not because it's easy, but because it's real. So when you lose something today, a person, a moment, a version of yourself, remember, the Stoic way is not to cling to the past, but to thank it. To look at the ashes and understand that even fire serves a purpose. Marcus would remind you that you are not being undone by change. You are being shaped by it. Every shift, every ending, every heartbreak is carving you into someone more capable of peace. You're not broken. You are simply becoming. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgment about them." This simple sentence carries the weight of an entire philosophy, because it means that the world itself does not decide our suffering. Our perception does. We think we suffer because things change, because people leave, opportunities vanish, time moves on. But what truly hurts us is the belief that we could have kept it all still, that if we were smarter, faster, stronger, if we had said or done something differently, then life would have stayed the same. That belief is an illusion, and it is the most painful one. Marcus knew this illusion well. He led armies across frozen lands, watched friends die, saw his own children buried. And still, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't say, "You will find happiness." He said, "You will find strength." Because the goal of Stoicism was never to make life painless. It was to make you unshakable. When we resist change, we are fighting reality itself. We become like a hand trying to stop the tide, angry at the sea for being the sea. But the sea doesn't apologize. It only moves as it must. And so does life. The Stoics believed that resistance to what is the beginning of suffering. Acceptance, however, is not weakness. It's not giving up. It's choosing to see clearly, to stop demanding that the world obey your expectations, and to start moving with its truth. Marcus wrote to himself, "Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast, and love sincerely the fellow creatures with whom destiny has ordained that you shall live." In other words, stop wishing for a different life. Start using the one you have. Every obstacle, every loss, every delay is not a punishment. It's an invitation to grow deeper roots. There is a quiet strength that appears when you stop trying to force outcomes, when you stop clinging to how it should be and begin working with what is. That is the heart of Stoic peace. You cannot stop the storm, but you can become the kind of person who stands calmly in the rain. You cannot freeze time, but you can live so present that time itself bows to your awareness. You cannot control the future, but you can control your courage in meeting it. That's the lesson Marcus left us. The world is unpredictable, people are fragile, moments vanish, and yet you still have a choice: to resist and suffer endlessly, or to accept and begin to see the beauty even in uncertainty. Because when you stop trying to control everything, you finally remember what was always in your control: your own soul. Marcus Aurelius buried 8 of his children. He led an empire through a plague that wiped out millions. He wrote his reflections not as a philosopher in peace, but as a man surrounded by loss. And yet, his words never sound bitter. They sound awake. He wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." For Marcus, loss was not the opposite of life. It was proof of it. Every moment's fragility was what made it sacred. When you love something deeply, you will lose it deeply. This is the price of living with an open heart. And Marcus knew grief is not something to conquer. It is something to understand. Because grief is simply love that has nowhere left to go. To the Stoics, loss was not a failure, but a reminder. Everything you love is borrowed. Every face, every voice, every day. It all belongs to time, and time will one day ask for it back. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't love. It means you should love fiercely, knowing it will end. The practice of letting go is not about indifference. It's about appreciation. To let go does not mean to stop caring. It means to stop grasping. It means to open your hands and say, "I was lucky to hold this for a while." Marcus often reminded himself, receive without pride, let go without attachment. It's a simple sentence, but it holds the power to free you. Because attachment is not love. It's fear disguised as love. Fear of change, fear of emptiness, fear that if you stop holding on, you will disappear too. But the truth is, nothing you've ever loved has truly left you. Every lesson, every feeling, every memory becomes part of who you are. Love transforms form. It never dies. The people you've lost are not gone. They are threads woven into your character, shaping the way you see, speak, and love others. Marcus saw the entire universe as one living body, where nothing truly disappears. It only changes shape. The leaf that falls becomes soil. The fire that burns becomes ash. The person who leaves becomes memory, wisdom, love. So when loss comes to your door, and it will, meet it not with denial, but with quiet dignity. Sit with your grief. Listen to it. Let it teach you how to love without ownership. Let it soften you, not shatter you. Because the truth is, letting go is not the end of love. It's the beginning of freedom. And freedom, Marcus would tell you, is where peace begins. In the end, everything Marcus Aurelius wrote points to one truth. Peace does not come from controlling life. It comes from flowing with it. He saw the universe as a living organism, a vast intelligence in constant motion. Every birth, every death, every change was part of that motion. He called it logos, the rational order of nature, and he believed that every soul is a fragment of it. To fight what happens is to fight yourself. To accept what happens is to return home. Marcus wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make of it." This is more than philosophy. It's a way of seeing. When you stop demanding that life meet your expectations, you begin to notice its quiet perfection. Even the hard parts, even the pain. Think about a river. It never resists its own current. It bends around the rocks, flows through the valleys, and yet, no matter what happens, it keeps moving forward. That is the Stoic way. To flow without losing your shape. To adapt without losing your essence. Marcus Aurelius was not a man detached from the world. He was immersed in it. He ruled, he suffered, he loved, he failed. And through it all, he practiced seeing everything as a part of something greater. He wrote, "All that you see will soon perish. Those who witness this perishing will soon perish too. But if you turn your thoughts to the order of the universe, you will find peace." It is not easy to live this way. The mind wants certainty, the heart wants permanence, and life offers neither. But when you finally accept that truth, you begin to breathe differently. You begin to act not out of fear, but out of harmony. To live like Marcus Aurelius is not to be cold or indifferent. It is to love reality so completely that you no longer need to escape it. To see beauty not in what lasts, but in what is. So when everything changes, and it will, remember that you are part of the same order that moves the stars. You were never meant to hold still. You were meant to evolve, to lose, to learn, to love, to let go, and to keep flowing forward with grace. You don't have to control life. You just have to trust that it knows where it's going. Marcus wrote, "Let the part of you that is divine be happy in what it is doing, and let it rest content with what it receives." This is what it means to be free. Not freedom from pain, but freedom from resistance. Not a perfect life, but a peaceful one. Everything changes. You will too. And that is not your tragedy. It's your purpose. Because every moment that passes is not stealing from you. It's transforming you. Let it. Let it all happen. And become one with the flow of life.